moved to the new place end last year. It's October, I think it was.
Yeah, September kind of when it started.
Yeah. And then was that, like I'm sure it wasn't easy as it sounds when you moved. It was
Fucks, man.
Yeah.
I decided this is one of my like stupid traits. I like really overestimate what I can do as an individual.
Yeah.
So I had it in my head that I didn't want to close the gym. A lot of this is just cost based, right? So basically, to make all that move happen, I just had a number in my head. I was like, I need to save up this exact amount to make the move possible. So it's not as simple as like, there's obviously lots of costs associated just with moving, even just things like contracts with the new premises, all this kind of stuff. But I wanted to get it as close as possible to us literally lifting up the gym, moving it. So I was like, I'm not closing the gym. We'll do this in one day. So I tried to do it over.
Yeah, I remember that.
I tried to do it overnight, which kind of like semi works. Obviously, I got like moving people, but I acted as some of the labor with that as well. So yeah, that was hard. It was just very physically tiring. But in a way, that was a really nice period of time. So there was loads of stuff, just like the negotiations to get that was one of the most horrible experiences. So like dealing with the landlords to try and get us out of our current contract and into the new contract. You'd think that they would just let you do that, and they don't. So that was heinous, and that took me probably a year. I was trying to do it. I was just going back and forth with the same guy, basically for a really, really long time. Eventually, we basically got out of our contract, so I argued that it was unsafe for us to be there because of the delivery drivers and all the issues they were creating. So they finally let us out. It was actually just being going from that kind of as like emotionally draining stuff where you're arguing with someone to a task that's just like, I got a load of shit here, I need to move it from here to here. It was almost like a really welcome break, and I was like, I can do that. It's going to really hurt my elbow, but I can do that. So that was it was tough for a few weeks, but physically tough, which was nice.
And then you open a second arch.
Not
so long after that.
So at that point, basically, was when we had the CrossFit and the weightlifting going on at the same time. It did work. So we had no open gym, and you could probably do 2 classes of 10 at the same time, which you'd think is good, but actually, like, if you drill down to the unit cost of the business, like, you actually can't sustain yourself on 10s. You'd have to make the price would have to be so expensive for people.
Just a quick announcement before we return to the podcast. If you're enjoying this episode of Midweek Motivation, you may be interested in checking out the Midweek Motivation newsletter, where every week I'll share with you a useful lesson on resilience, mindset, or fitness, or health in general, straight to your inbox. You also receive a free workout of the week, useful resources, and the latest videos that I've got up there. And just if you want to keep updated on my life, you'll find everything there. If you're interested in that, go ahead and hit the link in the description below, or go to Substack and search up Midweek Motivation. All right, let's return to the podcast.
So you get to capacity there before you get to profitability, which obviously is a negative. But I was ready to stay there for a while before addressing that because we were still growing, especially on that CrossFit side. But then there was only one arch free on that kind of lot that we're in. So I'd obviously been looking at that. And I did put feelers out to the landlord, but I'm interested in this, probably not right now, but if we can start, because it had taken me a year to get this one, so I assumed it would be quite slow. But I was like, I don't want to deal with the guy who I dealt with before. I just want to deal with you. You seem nice. And then it was like horrendously smooth. So they were like, we want you to take it now. And I was like, oh fuck, okay. Well, I thought I was going to take it one. And I was like, well, I'm happy to like put the deposit down now, but let's push taking it until, I think I said January. So even that was still a little bit sooner than I'd like. But they were like, they called me. They obviously don't want to put this kind of thing in writing. They were like, if you don't take it now, we're going to give it to someone else, and it's a gym. And I was like, oh, well, you know I'm going to take it now.
Yep.
So we did that. There's also like, I wasn't happy with what the weightlifting setup was in that new space. Like, it wasn't like my dream. Like, it worked, but it wasn't like awesome. So I was keen to. I was conscious that I was almost like letting the new thing, the CrossFit, slightly devalue the main thing, the weightlifting.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's London weightlifting, at the end of the day. So I did want to make the perfect weightlifting space. So it was definitely a good opportunity to just do that. So I was like, yeah, I'll just do it. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm sure it would have been a tough decision. Like, you brought on this CrossFit, and then it was like, oh, it's a new thing that we can offer, and then decide to, I guess you still offer very similar things, but just obviously not called CrossFit now. But
yeah, I mean, technically, we are still an affiliate of CrossFit. We are gonna stop that, as I think our affiliation runs out in August.
Okay.
It just didn't. The affiliation fee we paid didn't actually drive enough value, basically, because we'd still, the actual training we deliver in those sessions, so our strength and conditioning sessions and what we call LWX, we're doing exactly the same things we were before. But we actually just did some split testing in terms of our marketing. Like we did an ad that shows exactly the same thing but uses words like conditioning, functional fitness. Did another one that used the word CrossFit, and the results were so much worse on the one that used the word CrossFit.
That's interesting.
So it's like, okay, so the only thing we pay for is the ability to use this word CrossFit, and it's actually having a negative effect on bringing new people into the gym. And it doesn't affect the kind of training we do. Like, all we're trying to do is like get more people training using a barbell at the end of the day. I don't care if we call it CrossFit or not. So we decided not to keep paying that fee, basically. That was it.
Nah, fair enough.